What is up, guys? My name is V and I don't know anything. So if you've been following my channel, I made a video talking about all these groups that are making alternate endings. One of the groups I talked about is Operation Usurper, and they're not just redoing an alternate ending, they are doing a alternate rumbling arc. And today they dropped 3 chapters. They dropped an alternate 124, 125, and 126. I'm excited to talk about them. I'll put links to their Twitter, I'll put links to their chapters, check them out. You can read them, come back to this video, whatever you please. I'm going to focus on the parts that are different in each chapter, and then give my opinion at the end of the video, so let's get right into it. So one of the first things that you'll notice in the new chapter, in 124, is there is a dream Falco has that wasn't in the original 124, and it's sort of foreshadowing that he'll become a bird titan. He's imagining flying. That wasn't there originally. Well, in the new 124, it won't be such a big surprise because of the foreshadowing that Falco will become a flying titan. But the rest of the chapter changes basically Connie. And you'll see that same thing in 125 and 126, how the whole plot line of him trying to feed Falco to his mother is completely reworked. So you'll see him fighting with Armin, but instead he's arguing not to feed, Falco or to his mother or to anybody else. And that's the stance Connie has taken. It's a lot less selfish, in my opinion. And I think it makes his character a little bit more different. It's a very mature take, at least a lot more mature than, Armin. And you'll notice in the next couple panels, he, is talking to Falco, and these are all new fan-drawn panels. There's talking to Falco, explaining the situation to him, and yeah, this is entirely new. Everything is reworked. He basically gives Falco to Gabby really early on in chapter 124, and he won't. Thus, when we get to 125 and 126 to get with those plot lines, that's not going to be there anymore. Completely reworked. I think a lot of people in the community really didn't like Connie trying to feed Falco. I personally, the first time around, wasn't the biggest issue. I mean, who wouldn't want to save their own mother over everybody else? But this change does make Connie a little bit more mature. And I think you'll see that most of the changes in these 3 chapters are to Connie. And I think overall, long term, it does do better for his character than the original. And instead, he's going to go see his family by himself instead of bringing Falco to feed. And he's still upset. It's a more mature decision not just to sacrifice a kid to save his mom. It doesn't mean he's not hurting still, right? He comes back to the village. It's deserted. The only person there is his mom. He's pretty upset with everything. And it hurts. He's apologizing that he wasn't able to save her, that he's still trying. So, you guys can let me know in the comments if you like the change or not. Because I remember a lot of people really did not like Connie just trying to throw Falco into the Titan. I personally never minded, but this is one of the biggest changes going on. Changing for consistency's sake going forward. So. Well, yeah, he instead of talking to Armin or anything else, it's Connie basically stealing his resolve, talking to his family who passed away and talking to his mom. He still wants to be a better soldier. And it's entirely just for himself. Not for anybody else, is, the new take on Connie, and he comes in to say goodbye. And a new cool scene where he goes on his horse. And I think overall this has made Connie a more mature character, which might be good. He didn't receive a lot of characterization, I think, originally. And that's honestly one of the weaker points of Attack on Titan, even before, is just the character interactions and things like that. Like, it was always about the plot with AOT for the longest time. So this fleshes things out, removes a plot line that people didn't like. And, you know, another big change that happens in these chapters is it removes the Annie pie scene where Connie's just laughing. That's why Annie has her face stuffed full of pie. And instead, he, gets upset at her and Armin has to stop him. Again, like these chapters entirely focus on changing not only, you know, not doing a gag with Annie, but also making Connie, who just saw his family and said goodbye to them and basically admitted he failed at saving them, you know, it makes him it's like a character who would react naturally to somebody who he would associate with potentially causing his family to die. So, yeah, you know, and then when Hitch comes back, instead of everybody still being gone, she helps, like, ease the tensions, which made a lot more sense than, yeah, so she ends up being an intermediary between the group. You know, Connie's really mad. And, you know, when Annie, it's called in the new rewrite, Annie says she wants to see her father again. You know, Connie realizes they're very similar, that he just wants to see his mother again. And it kind of transitions that how they first start working together, which wasn't there originally. Originally, it felt like everybody just came together really easily off screen. There wasn't really too much drama outside of the, you know, Levi, Hanji, and Peak and Maggot. What's it called? Encounter. But in this, you have the first group. There's a little drama, and to me, this comes across as more realistic, right? It's called Annie did commit a lot of crimes. You know, it makes sense that you naturally be angry or hate her. So, you know, this serves to make the coming of the alliance a little bit cleaner. And the big change is, instead of Connie saying to save the world, it's Falco saying to save her home, which removes the Avengers vibe from the group of the alliance and makes it more consistent that they're acting not as these superheroes coming together, but instead people who want to defend their home, which is, again, something you can understand, you know, because that is Liberio that's going to be crushed, right? That's where they grew up. That's where their family is. You know, that's all the people they know. It makes sense for them to come help them out. It makes sense now Connie can see Annie wants to save her family like he wants to do. There's a lot more, you know, what's it called, understanding, you know, too, with these new added panels and the removal of the Annie pie eating scene and Connie sacrificing Falco scene. And then these are the changes that were made for these last 3 chapters for Operation Usurper. Overall, I think I like it. I think it worked both ways. I understand people's problems with the original Connie feeding Falco, but I think like I said, I think it works both ways. I think in the new Operation Usurper rewrite, Connie ends up being a more mature character. He acts a little bit more human. I mean, and he acted human before. You know, I think it is human to try to sacrifice somebody you don't care about or know to save your mom. But what this also does is get sort of another Armin talk no jutsu moment where he just sits there, goes around talking, convincing somebody. So honestly, this might help Armin's character more too, and along with Connie's, that he doesn't just go around. So that's how I see it. I think overall I like it. You know, the art isn't, it's a Yama tier, but I think it's pretty good. Considering this is a fan rewrite, I think it's well done, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they change with the rest of the Rumbling arc. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm sure, you know, people changes always make people apprehensive, right? That's not my Attack on Titan. But I mean, this is a fun experiment. This is fan fiction. This is something you can enjoy, especially if you didn't necessarily enjoy the, the previous Rumbling Arc or previous ending. And I'm excited to see where the story goes, see what else changes, what ending we're going to approach. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be updating it when anytime more chapters come out or any more alternate endings. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.